Hello everyone, welcome back to another speed build on my channel. If you're new here, my name is Simmer Rose, and you can call me Rosie, whatever. This is a channel where I mostly play Sims 3 gameplay and build in The Sims 4. Occasionally I'll play The Sims 4, occasionally I'll build in The Sims 3. Most of you probably aren't new here, but I assume that some of you are, getting into binging new Simmers because of this whole self-isolation thing. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, and I hope you're all doing well. So, I've been pretty good at uploading the Victorian Servitude Challenge lately, which is good because sometimes I can get pretty behind. But I've been pretty on top of that because I had pre-recorded because I pre-recorded during spring break because right after spring break it was kind of grind time for the play Julius Caesar, the Shakespeare play, and I have a really, really big role. I have like hundreds and hundreds of lines in, Shakespearean verse, so it was super hard to memorize. But, and then all of a sudden, Miss Rona was like, hey, screw you and all of your accomplishments. So, as of right now, I'm supposed to go back to school on April 6th, but I somehow really don't think that that's going to happen. So I've kind of just quietly accepted that I'm not going to get to do the play or my last dance show at my school because I'm a senior, so this is my last show and also my last, dance recital. It's not it's not an actual dance recital, they call it the spring dance concert, but it's basically just like a higher budget dance recital. And I was in like all of the pieces. I had choreographed a piece. It was yeah, and I'm trying to stay positive because they haven't officially canceled. They might let us come back April 6th after all, or they might let us come back a little later than that. Who really knows? But I'm trying to not get my hopes up about it because the more I follow the news, the more I'm like, yeah, it's not, that is not happening. But we had to do a character analysis and submit it to the director, which is like just basically a big old paper answering questions about your character, like basically a creative writing exercise to get to know your own character. It's very helpful. I mean, I've been doing it since I started college as an actor. But anyway, so I had pre-recorded for the show. That might not happen, and I'm kind of just dealing with the implications of all these things being canceled, and I'm dealing with the effects of that on my mental health, and it's just really depressing because I'm sure a lot of, I mean, everyone, the whole world, the whole country, the whole world is feeling this right now. A lot of high school seniors don't get prom, don't get their graduation. A lot of college seniors don't get their graduation. A lot of other musical theater or dance students in the whole country don't get shows. A lot of them are already canceled. They don't even have the hope that it's going to happen like, me and my school possibly does. So I'm trying to just keep my head up. There will be an emotional breakdown when we inevitably do find out that we're not going back because, like I said, I don't have my hopes too high. But I'm, just trying to stay afloat. Surprisingly, I haven't had much time to pre-record more stuff because of all that's been happening. I'm oh, my brain is not functioning at its highest level right now. Sorry if you just heard something. My dog just jumped past me onto my bed. So I've been building this. Right now I'm recording this voiceover. It is Monday, March 23rd. I started building this about a week ago, I think on Monday of last week, and it took me a couple of, over the course of a couple of days. I'm going to put the inspiration picture that I used around somewhere on the screen, maybe take it away at some point when we get to the interior. I kind of wanted to build like a homestead because I've been watching Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman because it's on every morning from 9 to 2 on this one channel that my mom watches. And we do have all of them on DVD, but my mom just likes watching them live. I don't know, I guess it's a nostalgia thing. So I'll get out of bed, I'll go watch Dr. Quinn with my mom. So I wanted to build like a homestead, like a Western homestead. And instead, when I Googled homestead, this picture is what came up. So I was like, oh, well, that's not exactly what I was looking for, but, like, that's really pretty, and I would love to build that in The Sims. So I kind of just started building this while I was binging television and, trying to stay busy, because the more I thought about everything that was happening, the more anxious I got. And to be not to be that bitch, but like The Sims is kind of like the only thing that was keeping me sane last week. Like I was in a really really dark place last week. And I still kind of am, but I'm dealing with it a little better this week. So I'm the, I always say this, building in The Sims is like a release for me. When I'm stressed, I just build. Sorry, I'm laughing. My dog looks really cute right now. Sorry. I will post a picture of her in her current state. I'm taking a picture and I'll put it on my Patreon, so those of you that have my IRL stuff can see. Oh no, she moved. Dang it. That's so sad. Anyway, um but like I said, this took me about a week to finish. Not a week straight, obviously, but a couple of sessions a day for a week. It takes me a long time to build. It takes me a while to figure out the roofing. I'm very picky. I go back and I change things a million times. I will never be like those Sims kids that just whip out a big old house in like 40 minutes. I mean, the speed build itself is 40 minutes, so imagine how long it took me. Um, so, yeah, I'm going to be talking for 36 seconds. Wow, nope, 36 minutes and 54 seconds today. So that's the length of video, not including screenshots. I haven't taken the screenshots yet, actually. I probably should do that soon. Um, so I'm actually recording this while the whole family is home, and usually I try to record when no one's home or when enough people are home that I can hide and not be heard. But I'm kind of at this point where I'm like, well, they've heard me do voice lessons online because, yes, I've had to do a voice lesson over Skype, and that's going to continue until the end of the semester, presumably, if we don't go back. So, yay, I love singing with a piano that's on a delay, and no, it's just. Sorry, I promised myself I wouldn't complain too much, but like, can I just say, like, I'm not paying thousands of dollars to have Skype voice lessons and to just like email videos of monologues and like videos of myself dancing. Like, I'm paying for coaching and training, not to just send videos in. But that's that's tea, I guess. Let me know in the comments down below if you can relate. I'm sure you all can. Not maybe specifically to my situation, but I mean, maybe some of you do study the arts in college. It literally sucks. I feel like I'm wasting my time and money. If we don't go back, I'm definitely gonna complain and ask for some money back. I'm just saying. But anyway, that's enough complaining. Positivity. I've been trying really hard to be positive. And it is really hard. But like I said, building in The Sims has been helpful. Again, not to be that bitch and be like, The Sims saved my life, but like it kind of did. Because I would feel myself like slipping into this insanity, and then just building is just a really nice catharsis for me. And I realize I haven't even talked about the build yet, but it's basically just a big old-fashioned house, and I kind of started to give it modern appliances. Like I put a TV in the living room, and I was gonna just make it a big house that was renovated. But then I was like, you know what? I'm famous for that Victorian thing in The Sims. That's, what the basis of my channel is Victorian Sims. And that's what a lot of my most popular build in The Sims 3 that people wanted to download so badly was a Victorian house that didn't have any modern amenities besides like appliances, because The Sims doesn't have like wood burning stoves and cellars instead of refrigerators. So I decided to go for that again, and I did build a yellow Victorian-ish house, but that one was modern, and I guess renovated. I'll link that down below. But that was like, I had like televisions and stuff in it, and it was basically just like refurbished. This one I wanted to go fully old-fashioned, and I think it's really really pretty. And I kind of came up with a story as I was building it, based on how the bedrooms turned out. I mean, or maybe it's just like me, because I don't understand men. So I'm like, everything I build is going to be feminine. So like, aside from the master bedroom, like I used blue in one of the rooms, but like everything is floral and the patterns are so like feminine, like fleur-de-lis and stuff. And the nursery, I mean, nurseries are a little more gender neutral. Like, I guess there could have been a boy in the nursery, but after everything just seems so girly to me. It's like pink and yellow, which we have a while before we get there, because it takes me a while to figure out the outside. Which, by the way, before I keep going, the building this was kind of difficult because it's very long. Like, it's a very weird L-shaped house, and from what I could tell, like, I can show you different angles of the house because I followed a bunch of different pictures. It's a famous house. It's some, like, museum. I don't remember what it's actually called. I can probably, it's the William Cullen Bryant Homestead. William Cullen Bryant was an American romantic poet, journalist, and longtime editor of the New York Evening Post. I feel like that's something that I should have known already, who he was, but I have to tell you, I've never heard of him before, except building his house in The Sims. But his house is like huge. It's beautiful, and it's a museum now. Actually, you can go visit this IRL. I'm probably not going to name this the William Cullen Bryant Homestead speed build because that just simply won't get clicks. Um, but if you're, interested, you can go look at it on in a museum. I guess not in a museum. The house is a museum. You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. But anyway, so there are plenty of angles of this house because it's a famous house. So there are plenty of people that like want to know what it looks like and upload pictures of it because they go visit it. So there was plenty of reference pictures, and I got from all different angles. And the more angles I got, the more I realized that the weird L shape, like that was really how it was shaped. Like there was no like back to it. Like it really just was L shaped, and like you'll see what I mean when I put the pictures in. But I didn't really know what to do with that. It just looked very strange. So I ended up putting that trellis back porch out there. I'm sorry I keep saying I feel like I do that all the time. I'm like and I just feel like a stupid teenager, which I mean, like, I am. I'm 21 years old, but I still am an illiterate, like, see, I can't even talk. I just said it again. Even while I was making fun of myself, I still can't even do it right. Ah, look, wood patterns. Yoo-hoo! Making it meet into a nice L, a nice corner. I love doing that with the wood on porches and stuff. It just looks so much nicer, so much more realistic. Oh, there I did again. Take a shot every time I say only if you're over 21. I don't endorse underage drinking. Never have, and I never will. Where was I? So yeah, the floor plan was weird. Not the floor plan. Well, actually, yeah, the floor plan was weird. But figuring out how to make everything look like the picture was really hard. And after all of my fiddling, and I cut out a lot of my fiddling, but after a lot of my fiddling, I'm actually like super proud of how similar it looks to the original pictures. And I hope you guys agree with me, like, especially the side view, because that's the main picture. That's the when you look up William Cullen Bryant Homestead, like that side picture, that's my reference photo in one of these corners on the screen. That's the main picture that you see, and I really think I captured that profile really well. But now we've moved on to the inside. I cut out me doing the floor plan. I'm sorry if you don't like that I've done that, but it really took me so long because of the weird shape of the house. It would have added another like 10 to 15 minutes onto this already very lengthy speed build, and you don't need to see me fumbling with the stairs and the walls, and it was too much. You guys would have been bored to tears, as I was when I was watching it back to see what I could cut out because it was too freaking long. But as I was saying, I kind of came up with a story for this family that he's this important guy, maybe like a colonel or something, or some important military guy. I'm not at all following the story of the actual William Cullen Bryant. I'm completely ignoring that this is a real house that belonged to a real person, and I'm coming up with my own fictional person. So he's this general colonel, some important guy, or maybe like a governor or something, and he has 3 daughters. So it's him, his wife, and his 3 daughters. One of them's a teenager, and the 2 are a couple of years apart. They're still children, and they share the nursery. And as usual, they kept trying for a son, but they just kept getting 3 girls, and so they've kind of just accepted that they're going to have the 3 girls, and they're going to have to marry them off, a la Pride and Prejudice with the 5 daughters. 3 is better than 5, but I mean, not that it matters to me. I mean, like, from their perspective, it's better. Less daughters is better. Ugh, quote Simmer Rose, less daughters are better. 2020. Oh, so how are you guys holding up? I hope that everyone's okay. I've heard a lot about YouTubers getting demonetized if they say the, thing that must not be named, which is why I called her Miss Rona before, because, can't prove anything, because they are putting a lot of their like IRL, like their real life people, going over monetization stuff. They are putting them working at home or like laying them off for their safety, I guess, which gotta love that. Gotta love firing people for their safety. Not that I don't know for certain that that's what YouTube is doing, but I know for certain that a lot of specific companies are firing people for their safety with no plans to rehire them. So that's really kind of everyone who's doing that. Again, I don't know if YouTube's doing that, so please don't come for me. YouTube, please. I haven't done my research. I'm speculating. I'm sorry. But anyway, so they're doing a lot of like robot picking up like on things. So if the robot basically even hears the YouTuber say the word, they'll just demonetize it because they're trying to avoid the spread of misinformation. So rather than actually listening to the context of what the YouTuber is saying, they're just demonetizing the video. Which I think it happened to Plumbella. So like that really sucks. So I'm not trying to be like that. So I'm not trying to actually say it just in case, because the robots don't know any better. Which is why robots can never take over the world, because they're stupid. A robot like drops from my ceiling and shoots me. Oh, that would be funny. Ooh, Lil Simsy just went live, ladies, exactly 4 p.m. When you see this, it won't be 4 p.m. Or when I post this, rather, it won't be 4 p.m. You might watch this at 4 p.m. So a little bit about the floor plan. So this is the study library area. I'm calling it the library because I put a bunch of bookshelves, and there's a fireplace in every room except the nursery and the one bedroom. The master has a fireplace, and the library and the living room and the dining room have fireplaces. So there's a chess table, there's lots of bookshelves, there's a piano in the library. I think it's a really nice, cute little room. The blues that I used, I really got to use a lot of the really elegant stuff. And this actually, I moved the piano into the living room, that's right. And then I put the desk that I had in the living room, I put it in the library, right, okay. Yep, see, I just removed the TV and put that picture frame there instead. The problem with the picture frames is that there's a lot that don't fit very many periods. Well, they're not very period is what I'm trying to say. So I had to reuse a lot of the same pictures, like, you know, with the elegant fancy frames and the really like fancy looking pictures, because there weren't that many like elegant old-fashioned period looking ones to choose from. So as long as they're not in the same room, I reuse a lot of the same picture. I would really like to have more options, but I only have one expansion pack and one game pack, so my options are a little bit limited. Speaking of which, comment down below if I should buy more expansion packs, because they're all 50% off right now because they are taking advantage of self-isolation. Which, you know, like, go off, I guess. It's not forcing anyone to go out and buy stuff in a store, so, you know, take advantage of it all you want. Give me free shit, I don't care. Not that it's free, but you know what I mean. So let me know if you guys want me to get any expansion packs or any more game packs. The game packs are 25% off and the expansions are 50% off. I'm thinking about maybe University. Right now I have Seasons and Parenthood. So if you guys are, you know, missing any content from me that would be enhanced by a certain game pack or expansion pack, I'm not really into stuff packs unless it was like given to me for free. I can't really see myself spending $10 on what I could basically get from a custom content stuff pack. So, any game packs or expansion packs that you guys think would enhance my gameplay of The Sims 4, like, let me know. Because I might just treat myself, because I deserve it. I've been suffering so much, as has the rest of the world. I'm not trying to, you know, make a global issue about me, but it just really sucks. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate, because there's a lot of bad stuff happening. But, you know, it's gonna end someday. It can't last forever. Much like a lot of other bad things, it can't last forever. You guys can make it through it. I'm here for all of you. My community tab is always open. My comments are always open. You don't even have to comment about the video if you guys just want to talk. My Instagram DMs are open. I've been logged out of Instagram for a long time because I post my screenshots on Patreon now instead of Instagram. But I recently logged into Instagram again so that I would have my DMs open if any of you guys need to talk. Like, seriously, I'm really here for you guys. I know how hard all of this is, especially coming from someone with the mental history that I have. I feel all of your pain. I really do. And I want you guys to know that I'm here for you. And I'm going to try to upload as consistently as I can while I'm home. But as I'm sure all of you realize, this isn't a vacation. It's not another spring break. I do still have to do classes. I don't have many like face-to-face, like online, like Skype classes except for my voice lesson. My dance teacher's meeting over Zoom, video, like it's a video chatting thing. I'm not really sure what we're gonna do because I don't have room in my house to dance. But we'll see. But other than that, I have to meet 3 days a week, 3 times a day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with my dance teacher. Because she teaches multiple different classes and I'm taking all of them. So I would have to meet with her 3 times a day with my class on Zoom. And then I have papers to write for my English class, papers to write for my history class, but none of that's like stuff that I just have to set aside time. I don't have to be there anywhere, any specific time. And I have to video myself doing monologues for my acting class. So yeah, I do still have a lot to do. I'm also, while they're open, I'm still going to I've scheduled for physical therapy because oh, this is a fun story. So I don't know how much you know. I think I've talked about it maybe over the summer because it was a really big problem when I was working in retail, just restocking stuff and putting up stickers. But I have like chronic shoulder pain, and the cause is very ambiguous. Like no one like there's nothing on the MRIs, there's nothing on the X-rays I've done. Like you can't really tell. Like there's just on paper there's nothing wrong with me, but like I'm always in pain on my right shoulder, like next to my scapula, between my scapula and my spine. There's like always like hard knots that feel like rocks in my back, in my shoulder, and it really hurts. And it sometimes goes up to my neck and like immobilizes me, and like I can't dance full out, I can't roll, like do forward rolls or like fish rolls and stuff. It's really hard to exist that way. But I went to PT last semester, but I got discharged from it because I was doing pretty good. And then it started flaring up again. And so I went to PT when I was home because I was like, well, I'm not dancing anyway. I might as well use this time to take care of myself while they're open. And of course, like I'm practicing social distancing while I'm at the office, and they're limiting their hours and they're limiting the amount of people allowed in the building at a time. Like and they're making us wash our hands, and they're washing their hands more, and they're sanitizing everything. So like I'm safe. Like I'm not going to physical therapy at great risk to myself or anyone else. If it was a risk, I wouldn't go. It's not worth it. But they're being very careful. I'm being very careful. And I do need it. Like it is technically still a doctor's appointment. And like, guys, let me tell you, like I'm in so much pain all the time. And while I'm not dancing, I figured I might as well take care of it. And so she's looking at it. So it's a different place, obviously, because I got PT by school last semester. But now that I'm home, I have PT at home. So she's looking at my range of motion. She's, rubbing my shoulders and, my back. And she's like, I'm feeling a rib right here. And I was like, what? Like she's poking my scapula, my shoulder area, and she's going, yeah, there's a rib here. And I was like, what? So apparently I have a rib out of place that is literally stabbing my shoulder muscles. So that explains a lot, but I think that's relatively new because I've been to physical therapy and actually even a chiropractor since this started, like, before this time around, before it started flaring up again. And the first time I was at PT, she didn't say anything about a rib being out of place at the other place. So this must be like a new, like, injury related that just like I made it worse and now there's a rib out of place. I don't know. There was something that happened in January where I was doing like a jazzy hip hop move where most of my body weight was on my right arm, right hand, and then it was my right hand and my heels. It was like one of those break dancey things. And like my shoulder kind of collapsed and my arm was tingly for like several minutes, and then I was swollen for a couple of days. But I just laid off of it and took it easy, and it was kind of gone. But I think that might have been when I moved my rib out of place. There's actually a video of it. I'm not going to show you because privacy and everything. But if you're a patron and you want to see me dislocate my shoulder and, push a rib out of place, let me know. I can post it on Patreon, which is the stupidest thing ever. And I know this. Don't come at me. So I have a rib in my shoulder, basically. And they're just massaging it and making me improve my arm strength because I have noodle arms. I have very strong legs, but I have noodle arms, and that kind of contributes, I guess, to why my shoulder hurts, because my shoulders and my back bear most of the weight that I have to bear rather than, my actual arm strength. So that might be part of the issue. And I also have hyperextended elbows, so I always rely on the strength of like locking my elbows in place rather than my actual muscles, which I think that's why my shoulder collapsed, because my hyperextension, like it just, I don't know. It's hard to explain if you don't know your body as well as I do, as well as I have to because of my profession. But so we've got about 10 minutes left of this speed build. How are you guys doing? Comment rib if you're still listening. Just comment the word rib with no context. I think I've done that. I think I had somebody. I think I had you guys comment like eggplant or something during my blue Victorian speed build because that one was really long. So comment rib if you've made it this far. I love you so much if you comment rib because thanks for listening to me babble about literally everything. But I mean, what do you expect when the speed build is this long? So you just saw me do the master bedroom and the teenage girls room. I love that room, by the way. The blue, the different shades of blue. Blue is like my favorite color, in case you didn't know, and I get that from my mom. Blue is her favorite color too. Like blues and purples are my favorites. But I really love like blue bedrooms, and I love the light blues mixed with the dark blues and the floral patterns and the white molding and the pure white furniture. It's just very pretty, and I can see a very elegant Victorian teen living there. Although this home isn't necessarily Victorian. If it's in America during the Victorian era, I don't think that makes it you can't really say American Victorian because Victorian inherently means that it's English because Victorian means Queen Victoria, who is an English queen. So I don't really know what you'd call the Victorian era in America. I just the 19th century, I guess, or the 17th century. Is it minus or plus one? If it's 1800s, be the 17th. Yeah, if it's in the 1800s, it would be the 17th century. Right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Brain fart. Woohoo. So anyway, we're moving on to the nursery, and then just the nursery and the kitchen, and then this is done. So we're almost there, guys. Hang in there. Uh, bear with me, or just leave if I'm annoying, which I really wouldn't blame you. But honestly, furnishing nurseries in The Sims is like my favorite because I love just going through toys and just making it look as lived in by the little kiddos as possible. I put a little cat on top of that bookshelf and a little horsey on top of that one. We got a Blarfy. Can't have a Sims nursery without a Blarfy, you know. A big old doll house. I love putting the little doll. I love sizing down the table and chairs and putting dolls on the size down table and chairs. I picture that ottoman is also a toy chest because the actual toy chests in The Sims, like in The Sims 4, are not cute and they're not period at all. So I didn't want to use one, but I pretend that the ottoman is a toy chest. There's toys in there. Also, these blocks from Debug, I had so much fun. Like I built a little tower and I just like threw some bricks around. So like they have like an in progress little block thing going on. I used to play with foam blocks when I was a kid. These are probably not foam. They're probably wood based on the period. They're probably wood and then painted. Probably with lead paint. Recall that shit, am I right? But I had a lot of fun with this. I love looking through debug items, and with Parenthood, you get those that baby doll and that teddy bear doll. I wish they were in a sitting position, like in The Sims 3, how the bears and the dolls came in a standing position, but once you hit play, they like sat automatically. I kind of wish it was like that in The Sims 4, but it's okay. They, maybe they're just not opposable dolls, and the kids have to make do with making them stand on the chair. I love giving them, sizing down the chairs and the tables and giving them a size down tea set. Like, I used to do that. I used to have little tea parties with my dolls at a little table and, fake kitchen food. And I feel like that's just timeless. And I put the rubber ducky at the table because I didn't have any other dolls that I hadn't used already. So I put blocks on the chair and then I put the duck on the block so that it was the same height as the other toys. I thought that was really cute. And then I sized down a crib and I put dolls in the size down crib and I put a doll in a size down high chair, and that little carriage is a little stroller. I don't know. I just love going ham in Sims kid nurseries. I wish that I was a little kid still. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just projecting. Maybe I just want to be a child. And I gave the girls 2 little desks and I tilted them a little bit so they'd look, lived in. And instead of computers, they all have a little open book and then the quill pen on their desks, which obviously if they wanted to use them to do homework, you'd kind of have to delete the book object, but it's just there for decoration in case you'd ever actually use the build, which this build is on the gallery, by the way. Origin ID is SimmerRoseYT, as usual. Speaking of which, if you've seen my Origin ID, I mean my gallery lately, there's a sim on there that's just called It Me because I didn't want to use, it's basically my sim self with minimal effort, of course, because it doesn't really look very much like me, but my friend from school is making, as a joke, she's making our college in The Sims, and everyone who has The Sims, she wanted us to make our sim selves and then send it to her. So I had to be like, all right, well, this is my Sims YouTube channel, so don't harass me like that one guy did that one time when he found out I had one. So basically I just put it on there, but I was like, it says It Me, you can change it to my real name when you download it because I'm not putting my real name on the gallery. So if you're confused, I should probably delete that now that she probably has it, but if you're confused by my ugly sim self that just says it me, just ignore it. It doesn't it you can download it if you want, but I don't see why you'd want to. um but anyway, and I've got those are supposed to be like little porcelain like decor items, but I liked the idea of them having like farm animal toys, so it's like I don't know, I just put them there. And then the Day of the Dead, the Dia de los Muertos statue, that's like the skeleton lady with the beautiful dress and like the big old hat, or maybe is that's a parasol or something. If you turn her away and she doesn't like, you can't really see her skeleton face, she kind of really works as like um she kind of just looks like a porcelain doll, like when you size up the Victorian and the princess doll from Debug, which I do all the time, um, for especially for old-fashioned nurseries and stuff. Excuse me, I just burped on camera, and I'm not going to cut it out. Hee hee hee. Oh god. But yeah, so I think I used the skeleton lady from the Day of the Dead free update. I think I used her twice in that nursery. So yeah, I also forgot that I had to do these bathrooms. So I lied when I said that we only had to do that in the kitchen, because there's this, and then there's the master bathroom, and then we get to the kitchen. But we're really in the home stretch, y'all. We've only got 6 minutes left of this speed build. I promise I will stop talking your ear off. Also, I was like showing my mom like my speed build, because my mom plays The Sims free play. She just enjoys it for some reason. And so she is very fascinated by my building The Sims, because she like cannot figure out how to build. She's like, I will never understand how you do that. She's like always amazed by the things that I create in The Sims, when I'm like, it's not really that big of a deal. Like I'm not really that talented. It's just a game. And she's like, no, it's amazing. It's art. And I'm like, well, thanks, mom. But I was showing it to her, and she's like, why do you have so many grandfather clocks? And I was like, oh, because, they're old fashioned, and, they look like they belong in a period home. And she was like, most homes only have like one grandfather clock. And I was like, well, that's true. But I couldn't think of what else to put there, because like I said, the period decor is very limited in The Sims. So this house has, I think, a total of 4, one in the upstairs and downstairs hall, one in the master bedroom, and then one in the teenager's bedroom with the blue teenager's bedroom with all the white furniture. There's a white grandfather clock in there. So I'm just living my best life. We have a grandfather clock in our house. It hasn't been wound up. We don't wind it up anymore, because we just stopped caring about it, I guess, and it gets annoying, trust me. But we still have it. It's still really pretty. It looks actually almost identical to the one in The Sims. Also, I forgot to use the ballerina statue, and I don't know how I could possibly have forgotten to put a ballerina figurine in my child girl nursery, because that is just so a thing that a little girl would have, like one of those things that like winds up and it like spins and it does like little, chimey music, and the ballerina just spins. That they definitely have that on their dresser for sure. So we're just getting to the kitchen. We're almost there. We're in the home stretch. 4 more minutes. Guys, I promise I'm as tired of talking as you are listening to me. Oh yeah, after the kitchen, you still have to watch me do the landscaping. I forgot about that. But again, like I said, only 4 more minutes. I actually had a lot of fun with this kitchen. I don't know why I saved it till the end. Usually I do the kitchen first, but I don't know, I wasn't inspired right away to do a kitchen, but I really liked what I did with those plates, how I sized down 2 of them so it looked like, an assortment of different sizes of plates. And I used that milk jug thing, and that barrel, I realized I didn't have a trash can inside yet. But I did this really cool thing where, how like in the olden days they had to like peel potatoes with knives, and the servants would just like sit in the kitchen and peel potatoes and stuff. I put a chair in the corner with a Debug like sack. I think it's supposed to be a sack of coffee, but like suspend your disbelief, okay? And I put the barrel garbage can in front of the chair next to the sack of potatoes, and I put some Debug like actual potatoes next to the sack, so you get the picture. And it's like, it's like the chair for the servant to sit and put the potato peels in the garbage. And obviously there's no actual interaction for anyone to do that, for your Sims to actually peel potatoes. But I figured it was a clever way to use the garbage can, because I feel like I don't really know what Victorians or American Victorians, whatever they're called, actually did with their garbage cans. But yeah, so that's the potato peeling chair, and that's the potato peeling bin, and that's just where they put their food scraps and stuff, because they didn't have plastic waste. It was probably mostly all biodegradable stuff back then, because they didn't use like plastic packaging. It was paper and biodegradable stuff. But now we're on to the landscaping. I didn't take as long in the landscaping as I usually do because I tried to keep it simplistic because I always take way too long to landscape. And by this point, the video is already way too long. So I was like, come on, Rose, just get it out. Just dump some plants down. Um, and I ended up making a really, really nice little pond in the back. And by doing, I just made like a random pattern, like a really jagged looking pool, and then I covered the edges with rocks and plants. You'll see what I mean when we get there. But it's really pretty. I used the willow tree. I love willow trees. I've always wanted a willow tree in my backyard, and I love the idea of like this rich family just having a willow tree that the kids love to swim in the lake under the willow tree. And there's a little bench with a beautiful archway and beautiful landscaping back there. I don't know. I can just see the rich mother sitting there watching her children swim under the willow tree. I don't know. Just, romantic thoughts, I guess. I'm romantic with a capital R, not with a lowercase r. Look that up if you don't know what I'm talking about. I took a whole semester of romantic literature, y'all. It's ingrained in me. So we've got some outdoor seating. Again, I tried to be as simplistic as possible. I didn't even put any furniture on the front porch, which I kind of regret. I might do that before I upload it to the gallery, but like I can't. I don't know. I didn't really feel like going too crazy with it. I went into Debug to get some hanging plants there, and see, there's the little bird bath, and yep, I changed it to a long table, and now we're getting into the little arch with the beautiful bench. And I'm just about to put in the pond after I put in all these plants. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. I always say I'm really bad at landscaping and I'm really bad at roofing, but I'm pretty happy with this landscaping, and I think this pond is a really nice touch. And I'm pretty sure you can still swim in it because I used some debug plants on the outside, and the debug plants aren't actually objects. So I'm pretty sure your Sims just like walk through them if they want to use the pool, because there are like regular, like those rocks and like the light green stuff, that's not debug, so they won't walk through that. But that dark green bush right there, next to that rock that I just put down, that's debug. So I'm pretty sure they'll just walk through it and they'll just swim if they want to, and the lily pads won't be a problem either. So I haven't play tested it yet, but I can do that before I upload it, I guess. So we're just about getting to the end of this video. So please don't forget to give this video a like and give it a thumbs up, and to subscribe if you haven't already. Please remember my DMs are open on Instagram, my comments, my community tab. Please talk to me if you guys need somebody. It's really trying times. And stay tuned for the screenshots, and let me know if you guys want me to do a create a sim video with this family, because I'm kind of invested in them. And yeah, this is Simmer Rose. Have a great day, guys.